Close your eyes and hear my voice in your ears. You think that I'm far away, but I'm here. Come and follow into the darkness here with me. Water to your knees, but you follow me. Come and get me. Come and get me. Come and get me. You know you want more. So come try and catch me if you can. You know you want more. So come try and catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. Come and get me. Now you got me. Now I'm with you and you with me, singing you to sleep. Now close your eyes and rest in peace. Dum da 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 dum. Dum da 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 dum. Been waiting for so long. The winds have grown strong. The birds have come and gone. I'm looking every day, but you might still be 1,000 miles away. Do you know I'm holding on? I've been looking in the distance as I sing our song. Dum da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da da da.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here on the TikTok platform for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. We're playoff racing here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway, and this is the Madness Racing League track fact of the night. We're getting ready to tackle on a 1.50 mile, I meant to change it, with a capacity of about 80,000 capacity, sold out assets here tonight. We're racing in at the Oval in Hampton, Georgia, formerly known as the Atlanta Motor Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. We'll turn it down here on the main broadcast where these guys are dialing in these Xfinity cars. We're getting ready to go racing here. Playoff style for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is right around the corner, and that looks like Freddie the Flagman is going to throw up the checkered flag. So as we get ready to talk about it, we're getting ready to go to the qualifying session. You are watching the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series playoff race number 1 here in the high banks at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is probably what we'll be calling it for majority of tonight, because I just can't seem to get Echo Park Speedway up underneath my hand here. Looks like lucky contestant number 1 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel to qualify for the Xfinity Series, the part-timer driving the number 59 Jim Fountain Racing Chevy Camaro. The Tyler's Pub will appear on the side of the race car this week for the Big Country of Kyle Fountain. Cousin Big Country down the back straightaway here, ripping through the gears. You ride out the front bumper of Kyle Fountain. Kyle Fountain looking to make something shake here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. He'll try the bottom side of the racetrack here, gaining speed of that number 59 Camaro. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are not allowed to cut the dog leg here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So they're going to have to find another way around above here to try to find some speed inside of those race cars. Kyle Fountain And the number 59 down here on the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll try the middle here. No, he'll stay down on the red line here. Very committed there. I wish my ex-girlfriend was way more committed to me, just like he is to that yellow line down on the bottom side. Kyle Fountain ripping through the gears here at the Echo Park Speedway. He'll head off turns 3 and 4 here and head across the line to complete his first lap here tonight for the qualifying session. Where will Kyle Fountain post? And I believe his ticker is broken here on the left side here, but Kyle Fountain is currently P1 on the board as they run around the Echo Park Speedway here. Tons of other guys out here dialing in these Xfinity cars, trying to lock in their spot for the night's event. There they goes on the ticker. Kyle Fountain on the top of the board, followed by his little brother James Fountain right behind him. Corey Riptide Tesner in the third place spot, but Kyle Fountain charging hard here on the bottom side. Kyle Fountain will head through the dog leg one final time here tonight on the Booty Scooter Racing Channel. And he will fall down to the second place spot. Here's the number 7 of Travo Wall from Pelzer, South Carolina, driving the Moroso's Rock and Roll Racing. Number 7, Ford Mustang. He'll head through the dog leg this time around for its completion of his second lap. P2 on the board for Travo Wall. Will scoot down here the number 99 of Jerry Powers, who currently rises to the front of the board, the top of the board, from Park Ridge, New Jersey. He'll kill it right there. Here's the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, driving the number 02 Maynard Motors Penske Ford Mustang down the back straightaway here. On his second lap here in the qualifying session, Chase Johnson will rise up to the third place spot here. The kid rolls up to the top of the banking through turns 3 and 4 here. Nicholas Maynard charging hard through 4. Trailing the big company time here, looking like he's constantly probably going to get the third place spot for Nicholas Maynard that time around. Here comes Everett Larson and the number 01 Stacking Pennies podcast machine. He'll head down off the pit road here, try to gain some speed here. Meanwhile, while we're waiting on him to gain some speed, we'll catch him on his outlap. Here's Terry Hughes Jr. driving the number 81 Oreo Ford Mustang for 81 XI Racing. He'll head off the baking through the dog leg here. Terry Hughes Jr. trying to post a lap here tonight. Terry Hughes Jr. trying to make something shake here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. He'll take the top side of the racetrack here for his qualifying session. The Oreo Ritz Ford Mustang trying to get every bit of speed out of that race car down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Terry Hughes Jr. will commit to the top side of turns 3 and 4. You're riding out the front bumper cam of the Oreo number 81. As he sails across turns 3 and 4 here through the dog leg. Terry Hughes Jr. coming to completion of his qualifying lap. Where will Terry Hughes post? Terry Hughes Jr. currently 12th fastest last time around on the Booty Scooter Racing Channel. He'll climb the banking. Here's the tickers all over the place on the left side. You have to cut us a break here on the Booty Scooter Racing Channel, battling a little bit of technical difficulties. We'll get that under control for you folks. And the number 81 Oreo Ford Mustang down on the bottom side of the racetrack here for the completion of his final qualifying lap here tonight. He'll rip through the gears. Where will Terry Hughes post? Currently 13th fastest on the board. Bam! Terry Hughes Jr. jumps up there to the 4th place spot here on the Booty Scooter Racing Channel. We'll switch back here. Looks like Everett Larson coming to the completion of his final lap, and he's below the red line there. So Everett Larson should receive a AOL penalty here for going below the red line here on his qualifying lap, which was a no-go here from the admin. These guys had to stay above the red line here for qualifying and tonight's race here. But Everett Larson will come down here on pit road here. He'll just look like he's fooling around here. And that looks like it's going to do it for the Booty Scooter Racing Channel's qualifying session here tonight from the Echo Park Speedway for the Madness Racing League playoff kickoff race. And it looks like Jerry Powers driving the number 99 closeoutbats.com from Park Ridge, New Jersey. Chevy Camaro will sit on the pole here tonight. We'll be back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere.
A kingdom of dust, my eyes running dry, a throne gone to rust.
Welcome back here to the Booty Scooter Racing Channel. We have just wrapped up the qualifying session, and we ask you guys to rise and stand as you're able as we get ready to tackle on tonight's Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll salute the troops first here on the Booty Scooter Racing Channel. For our Star Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go racing here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel live from the Echo Park Speedway. These guys are climbing into these race cars, strapping up those seats, getting those Hans devices set on top of those helmets. We're getting ready to go racing here around the Echo Park Speedway. And we would gladly appreciate if you hit that like button and smack that like button. We're getting ready to go racing here. It looks like these guys are starting to fill in the field here. We're getting ready to kick off tonight's driver's introduction for playoff race number 1 here around the Echo Park Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, still waiting on a couple more guys to load in here. We're scheduled for 120 laps around the Atlanta Motor Speedway here tonight with 2 in the bank for overtime if we really need them. And it looks like everybody else is starting to fill in the field here. We're missing the race leader here. We'll have tonight's driver's introductions getting ready to kick off here. Tons of guys filling in the field here. Looks like we're going to have about 17 guys filling in the field, and I will move down the Racing Electronics sponsorship here on the left side of your scoring ticker for you guys. It looks like starting on the pole tonight, driving the number 99 closeout patch Chevy Camaro from Park Ridge, New Jersey. That's going to be Jerry Powers. Corey Riptide Tesner driving the SpongeBob number 8 Chase Johnson Racing entry. We'll start on the outside here. Driving the number 02 Penske Maynard Motors Ford Mustang from Wolford, South Carolina, the 23-year-old of Nicholas Maynard. Starting on the outside of him, driving the Oreo Ritz Nutter Butter number 81. Driving for 81XI Racing, that's Terry Hughes Jr. On the bottom side of Terry Hughes Jr., driving the number 01 Food City Stacking Pennies Podcast 01, that's Everett Larson. Showtime Chase Johnson driving the number 5 STI Johnson. Rick and Morty number 5 from Greer, South Carolina. Looking to make something shake from the 6th place spot. Underneath him driving the number 13 Nap Daddy Racing's Premier Setups Chevy Camaro from Goldsboro, North Carolina. That's going to be Jonathan Smith. Kyle Fountain driving the number 59 Chevy Camaro Cousin Big Country from Clemson, South Carolina. Looking to charge his way to the front of the pack. Sean Williams driving the number 25 Chevy Camaro, from East Windsor. Looking to make something shake here tonight. That's a tongue twister as he won the season opener Daytona race for the Xfinity Series. John Michael Bryant made it in on points for the playoffs. Greer, South Carolina, celebrating his dirty 30th birthday today here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. We've seen him throwing back some tequila shots here. During the happy hour, he almost took it quite literally. The Boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver, driving the number 23. Travo Wall driving the Morosos number 7 Rock and Roll Racing Ford Mustang from Pelzer, South Carolina. He'll round out the top 10 here tonight. You're looking to make something shake. Driving the NVIDIA number triple deuce green and black machine from B-Town, Indiana, Rubbins Racing. And Chris Noddy's looking to go to the front of the pack. Driving the Durango number 22 Ford Mustang from Lexington, South Carolina. That's the number 22 of Juan Cobbs Jr. Starting in the Liquid Death number 21 Chevy Camaro, making his Moody Scoot Racing channel debut here in the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. That's Christopher Grant. Blake Hochschild, driving the Toyota number 2 Toyota Supra from Tempe, Arizona. Looking to make something shake here tonight. He'll round out the 14th place spot. Everett Larson back here will start at the tail end of the field after cutting the dog leg during the qualifying session. He will round out the tail end of the field. James Fountain from Greenville, South Carolina, driving the number 24 Looney Tunes Chevy Camaro. Will cut the dog leg as well. He'll start tail end of the field, and Tony Cook will not post a qualifying lap. He'll go to the tail end of the field, and that's where he'll start tonight's event. We'll jump back up here to Jerry Powers, the race leader here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. Peter the pace car should hang this left up on the pit road, and we should be ready to go racing here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway for 120 laps of drafting around the Atlanta Speedway. You guys better slap that like button and press that follow button. Looks like Peter the pace car is not trying to pull off on the racetrack. He's trying to race with these guys here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take one more lap around the Echo Park Speedway. Jerry Powers on the front row, followed by Corey Riptide Tesner. Nicholas Maynard to get the 3rd place spot, followed by Terry Hughes Jr. Jonathan Smith will round out the top 5 with Showtime Chase Johnson. That'll be the first front 3 rows here. Kyle Fountain, Sean Williams will round out the back half here with the birthday boy, John Michael Bryant. And Travo Wall rounding out the top 10 here. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for 120 laps to kick off the playoffs 10 drivers advanced to the playoffs. We had 5 different individual winners this season, and 5 of the other ones made it in on points here, ladies and gentlemen. Jump up out of those seats, grab those phones, pull those belts tight. One more time, we're getting ready to go racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. These guys have put in the work for the last 2 weeks here to get ready for the playoffs, and it is time. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter the pace car has the lights off on top of it here. This is the TikTok platform. Ladies and gentlemen, check the top right of your screen. You will find the Booty Scoot Racing channel YouTube page. Make sure you head on over and to the YouTube page, and you can find all the full races there. We have everything from Xfinity, next-gen trucks, late models, modifieds, you name it. Jerry Powers is on the pole here tonight in Atlanta. And we're getting ready to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you came for. This is why you slapped the like button and pressed the follow button every weekend. Freddie the Flagman has the green flag in his hand, and it is on him to start tonight's event. Are you ready? Booty, 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 Booty Scoot Racing. Let's go racing here. Green flag is in the air. Ripping through the gears here for the first time tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, door to door, climbing the banking here through turns 1 and 2. Jerry Powers on the bottom side. He'll have the Ford Mustang of Nicholas Maynard to the bumper of him. Corey Riptide Tesner will follow on the outside, ripping through the gears down the back straightaway. Flying through your living room at 180 miles an hour. Corey Tesner, Jerry Powers, door to door here across the line. Give it to Corey Tesner. The first lap led here tonight. Corey Tesner, playoff eligible here tonight, so that lap led is 1 point added to his total score. Let's get some camera action down here on the racetrack here. And these guys starting to fan their way out here. 1 lap is in the book here. Everybody's going to have to start picking and choosing what lanes they're going to want to follow, and everybody's able to hold it together so far. A little discombobulated mid-pack here in the number 25 of Sean Williams. Left all alone there with no dancing partner. Kyle Fountain down on the bottom side of the racetrack. A little loose there, but he's able to hold on to it as they cut through the dog leg. Ladies and gentlemen, remember all 17 of these Xfinity cars have to stay above the red line here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Travel Wall's got some drafting help from Chris Knighty here at the top of the hour. During the practice session was handling on top of these race cars here. Slick surface out here tonight as the asphalt begins to wear abrasively here in the Echo Park Speedway since they repaved it back in 2022. But Travo Wall is absolutely flying through the field right now as he's able to suck up to the back of the number 25. But here comes James Fountain and Everett Larson, the 2 guys cutting the dog leg during the qualifying session. We'll cut the fastest laps on the racetrack that last time around. Give it to James Fountain and Everett Larson here. They'll cut the dog leg for the qualifying session here. They'll lose their starting spots, but that doesn't really matter to them as they're charging their way through the field. About 12 on the bottom side to the 14 or so on the top side. Don't really know. I can't do the math. Corey Tesner throwing loose up here in the front of the pack. Contacts made. Terry Hughes Jr. goes around. Caution flag flies here. Big contact there. The Tony Cook as well. His day might be already down to a ruin. Ladies and gentlemen, we will back that ass up here as Tony Cook goes around here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. So does Terry Hughes Jr. 5 laps into the night's event here. We'll back that ass up here as we always do here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Get you live down in action there on what the hell possibly just happened there. We've seen the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesner scraping the outside wall there. Chase Johnson collected into the fence as well. We'll back that ass up here and take a look here as this looks like it's going to happen right here in front of you folks. Corey Tesner just bobbles and weaves stuck on the outside there. Just talking about the handling in these race cars there, and everybody else with nowhere to go collected. Tony Cook coming in there hard on the brake. Terry Hughes Jr. nowhere to go after being on the outside wall there. We'll back that ass up one more time as Freddie the Flagman waves the caution flag here. We'll ride out the front bumper of the Home Run Cafe, number 33 of Tony Cook here and see exactly what he's seeing. The wreck happened in front of him. Corey Tesner in the outside wall. Terry Hughes Jr. Tony Cook hard on the brakes. Smoke everywhere. Just can't see. And as it goes through, Tony Cook has nowhere to go there. But Terry Hughes Jr. involved. Sean Williams able to get through it here. The caution flag will fly quick and early here tonight. The playoff race out of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Bang, 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 bang. Working the caution flag for the first time here tonight for the Xfinity Series playoff kickoff race here at the Echo Park Speedway. Underneath the caution flag, Corey Riptide Tesner coming down pit road to address the damage on that number 8, Chase Johnson racing SpongeBob Chevy Camaro. He'll pull in the pit lane, try to get the damage assessed on that. So will his team owner, Chase Johnson, as he'll bring it down pit road to try to assess the damage. Terry Hughes Jr. nowhere to go out the front bumper of the number 81. There's Corey Tesner gets loose on the outside wall there. Terry Hughes Jr. gets plowed by the number 33 of Tony Cook there with big damage to the front of that Camaro. Tony Cook heavy on the brake there, but the smoke plowing. And it's with this being a self-cleaning racetrack here with the high bankings. Terry Hughes Jr. nowhere to go. Terry Hughes Jr. will slam the helmet down there on the dashboard here. His guys will get to work out there on that race car here. Meanwhile, back out here on the track, we're working the first caution flag here tonight. For those drivers that are currently getting their damage fixed on pit road, Juan Cobbs Jr. back in the field tonight. After a brief absence here from the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, Sean Williams trying to continue his little run here in the Xfinity Series and make something shake. He's currently the last person that locked himself in on points on the playoffs. I'm pretty positive here. John Michael Bryant celebrating his 30th birthday here tonight, driving the number 23 Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra, currently sitting in the 6th place spot there after the caution flag. Tony Cook will bring it down pit road this time, so it looks like the admin will keep the pit road open here for the guys that weren't able to catch the pace car here. Jonathan Smith driving the number 13 Premier Setups will bring it down. Premier Setup Chevy Camaro, will bring it down on the pit road, and his Snap Daddy Racing crew will have to get the beating and banging on top of that race car. Tony Cook's Home Run Cafe crew will jump the wall as well. They'll assess the damage on the number 33. Showtime Chase Johnson down on pit road here. He's got some big damage to that number 5. And he'll have to lose a lap here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Looks like Corey Riptide Tesner was able to catch the back end of the pace car here. So he'll stay on the lead lap here. The lights are off on top of Peter the pace car. Getting ready to go racing here with 7 laps to complete out of the 120 scheduled around the Echo Park Speedway. It's going to be Jerry Powers, the Bolts hitter, on the race lead here. He'll have the kid of Nicholas Maynard on the outside, driving the number 02 for Team Penske. The number 24 of James Fountain from Greenville, South Carolina, driving the Looney Tunes. Number 24 down on the bottom side here. EOL to start the race for James Fountain and the number 1 of Everett Larson. 2 playoff drivers. Not off to a hot start here, After cutting the dog leg during the qualifying session, they'll go to the back of the pack to start the event here, but they've drove themselves up here to the top 5. And things are getting ready to get interesting here. If you're just now tuning in here to the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, make sure you slap that like button, press that follow button, get ready to re-rack them here at the Echo Park Speedway. Jerry Powers is going to be the guy in charge here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Peter the pace car will abruptly take that hard-ass left on the pit road there. The new banking here not made for the suspension on his pace car. Jonathan Smith looks like he was able to catch up to the back of the pack here. Green flag back in the air. Jerry Powers hard on the gas. Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb back through the gears here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, we'll leave you right down here up and close with the action for the nice Madness Racing League Fast and Loud. These guys are absolutely flying around the Echo Park Speedway here, the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. The Nicholas Maynard 02 machine shuffled out of line there by James Fountain and Everett Larson. Everett Larson trying to make his way back up to the front here after him, and James Fountain will start tail into the field here. Smoke is in the air. Looks like we see the number 13 of, looks like Jonathan Smith down here on the bottom side of the racetrack here. We got one more coming down the pit road. That's the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. Because he's got a flat right front tire on that number 81 machine. He'll have to try to work it back here. Travel Wall charging hard here, trying to roll to the back bumper of his rock and roll racing teammate of Nicholas Maynard. As sparks fly out the back end of the number 02, he must have got it to the outside wall there. Everett Larson, James Fountain lead the outside line here. You're riding around the Echo Park Speedway. What a shot here with Travel Wall. Kyle Fountain here, the number 59. Tyler's Pub the Pier. Jim Fountain Racing, chartered entry down on the bottom side of the racetrack here, trying to work his way to that back bumper of the triple deuce of Chris Knighty there. Not able to suck up to the back bumper there. Fords lead the race here early, but his two bow ties out front right now. Jerry Powers still in control of the race lead. And ladies and gentlemen, we ask your mother to please put her shirt down. Here comes the boogeyman. He's driving his way through the field here, celebrating his 30th birthday. He's looking to make a pass for the race lead. But Jerry Powers will just show him a little bit of air there, trying to cool off the number 23 Gorilla Mind Toyota Supra. Some bow ties, a blue oval, and a Toyota. Ribbon in the top 5 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like 3 on the bottom side. The rest of the pack riding single file on the top side. Everett Larson nose to tail with James Fountain. And then you'll kick it back to the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. You'll kick back the little gap there. Chris Knighty trying to hold every bit of that race car that he has up underneath the mirror, riding on board with your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant. If he rips through turn 22 here, really has to preload into the banking here and sag off the number 99 closeout back Chevy Camaro of Jerry Powers here. And Chris Knighty doing the same thing here. So as long as these guys can keep it together here, pick off some green flag laps, we'll be out of here in no time tonight. And I'll be back in South Carolina where I belong here. James Fountain looking to block both lines through turns 3 and 4. He'll jump from the top side, back down on the bottom, back to the top side. James Fountain putting on a clinic here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, trying to block both lines here. It'll cost him big time though, as Everett Larson's not able to get there to turn 22 to his back bumper. James Fountain will stay in the middle side of the racetrack here, trying to control both lines here. Jump back onto the outside lane. We're seeing a clinic from James Fountain, but Everett Larson will jump back down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Everett Larson, the 14-year-old driving the Stack of Pennies podcast, number 01 will sort of the race lead. Everett Larson's got a bad, fast race car here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Check it out front here for the 14-year-old. He's the race leader as these guys climb the banking through turns 1 and 2. 17 laps are complete here out of the scheduled 120. Everett Larson, the race leader, followed by Jerry Powers, the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant, and Chris Knighty. James Fountain leads the outside line, followed by the Kid, and then Trevor Wall and Sean Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, they climb the banking through turns 3 and 4, heading back around the front stretch here. The crowd roars as Everett Larson leads another lap here. Add another point to the playoff driver for the number 01 here. So tons of playoff guys riding out the front 5 here. Everett Larson currently locked into the Madness Racing League playoffs here. He locked himself in on points here, ladies and gentlemen. James Fountain, a winner here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He picked up the win in the Chicagoland Speedway, which succeeded him to be here tonight in the playoffs, currently running up front after having a black flag. And it looks like maybe having a black flag was where it was at here tonight, as Nicholas Maynard will scrape the outside wall there off the dog leg on turns 3 and 4 here. The handling continues to be an issue here tonight for these guys as the sun continues to go down here. I would imagine the track tip would decrease just a little bit here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 20 laps are complete here, as I probably shouldn't have drank that Budweiser before I came on air. Really starting to feel it back in my stomach. Everett Larson down on the bottom side of the racetrack, the race leader. Everett Larson really being able to control the bottom and the top side of the line. He'll miss his block there through the dog leg. That'll open up the door for the number 99 of Jerry Powers. John Michael Bryant trying to sort to the back bumper. Door-to-door off of turns 2. Jerry Powers door-to-door with Everett Larson. Powers on the bottom, Larson on the top, followed by Fountain. Chris Knighty, big loose off the corner here. He'll go down the bottom side of the racetrack, back up in traffic. Caution flag is out. Caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chris Knighty back up in the traffic. Collecting the number 59 of Kyle Fountain. The left front toe link is destroyed on the Jim Fountain Racing chartered entry. And Chris Knighty is crab walking here through turns 3 and 4. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for an instant replay there. That unfolded right in front of our face off of turns 3 and 4. The Maverick of Chris Knighty. And exactly what the nickname implies. Uh-oh, indeed. He'll go around here now through turns 3 and 4 here. Maybe a little bit of contact there from Corey Riptide Tesner. Maybe got him a little bit loose here. We'll ride down the back straightaway. Chris Knighty, the one we know got loose here. Corey Tesner all over the back bumper here, giving him a shove. Looks like he just got Chris Knighty big loose here. Chris Knighty trying to lock it down. You see the smoke pouring out the right front of that triple deuce NVIDIA Ford Mustang, but just not able to slow it down from 180 miles an hour quick enough. Kyle Fountain with some big damage to that number 59 Camaro. We'll have to bring that one on back down pit road. Chris Knighty might be done for the night here. Crab walking on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll take that quick commercial break. Chris Knighty appears to be okay. The track workers out here in turns 3 and 4. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, these guys are catching Peter in the pace car. We're underneath the caution flag for the third or second time here tonight. I've lost count already up to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, less than 100 laps remain here in tonight's event. Big damage there, the number 59 of Kyle Fountain. As we'll kill the music down here as he'll bring that number 59 down pit road to get the damage success. Chris Knighty's guy jumping on top of the race car here with the sledgehammers, trying to beat the ever-living shit out of this triple deuce machine and getting it back out on the racetrack. Here comes Kyle Fountain, and it looks like tons of other guys are going to come down pit road. So the first flag stops here tonight for these guys are right now Everett Larson, followed by Nicholas Maynard, John Michael Bryant, Sean Williams, Chris Grant, Juan Cobbs Jr. bring it down pit road, and as well Terry Hughes Jr. will come down the pit road as well. See if we can't go down here. Looks like Nicholas Maynard's guys down here. Feeling who's going to win the battle off pit road. You have to give it to Everett Larson over Nicholas Maynard. So it looks like gas only for these two drivers. Sean Williams will take 4 fresh tires here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 23 laps into tonight's event. Here comes the Boogeyman. He'll take gas only and possibly 4 tires as well. Kyle Fountain gets into his box. Here comes Christopher Grant off of pit road as well. He'll swing it a little bit wide there and give the grass a haircut. Chris Knighty, big damage here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, as well as Terry Hughes Jr. But we'll jump back up here to the front of the pack, see how things shaked out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. With everybody going to pit here, we'll have to see how everything shakes back out here. Looks like Jerry Powers, the pole sitter here tonight, been out front. Majority of the laps here tonight, the Park Ridge driver almost had him won at the Richmond Raceway in the Truck Series this past Thursday night. Jerry Powers comes up a little bit short there, looking to redeem himself here tonight. James Fountain will stay out on the racetrack as well in his number 24. Twins grading Looney Tunes Chevy Camaro. Corey Riptide Tesner, a little bit of back bumper banging there with Chris Knighty. Sends Chris Knighty into the outside wall, the number 8 SpongeBob machine. I bet he looks like SpongeBob on the hood underneath that helmet when the contact was made there. Travo Wall in the number 7. Making his way through the field, driving the Moroso's Rock and Roll Racing Ford Mustang. He's currently rolled his way up here to the top 5. Everett Larson gets the black flag to start tonight's event. He's got a bad, fast Ford Mustang. He'll come down pit road here with the rest of the pack here. Following with Nicholas Maynard. Blake Hochschild will stay out on the racetrack as well in his number 2 Toyota Supra. And Sean Williams will go pit following John Michael Bryant, Chris Grant, Juan Cobbs Jr., and Jonathan Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the playoff race number 1 here at the Echo Park Speedway. We're underneath the caution flag as Chris Knighty gets spun around by Corey Riptide Tesner. and collects the Fountain brother of Kyle Fountain, still stuck down there on pit road. Kyle Fountain, Radio 2 and his team at the right front is absolutely killed on that Camaro, and that'll do it for the day for the country. Big country Kyle Fountain. It'll end his day early. We'll have to check out, see if Kyle Fountain takes the trip to the Nashville Speedway, where we will hope to see you Wednesday night for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series race number 3, as they took on the Bristol Motor Speedway this past week. Saw Showtime Chase Johnson pick up the victory. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're getting ready to let them go racing here again. Peter the pace car will hang the left on the pit road. Jerry Powers is going to be the guy in full control through the Echo Park restart zone. Jerry Powers will press back on the gas. We are booty racing here on the Booty Racing channel. Ripping through the gears, climbing the banking here at the Echo Park Speedway, riding out the front bumper of Blake Hochschild. Blake Hochschild winless here on the Booty Racing channel. Driving the number 2 Toyota Supra here tonight, trying to make something shake here down the back straightaway. Nicholas Maynard will jump to the outside in front of the Rock and Roll Racing teammate. Number 7, a Travo Wall. They'll climb the high side here. It'll be 3 on the top, followed by looks like going to be 5 guys down on the bottom side. Can this outside line get something going here? Or are these guys looking to get single file here? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll let the run continue to fill its way out here, and I'll fill you in on all things necessary on pit strategy, pit stops, and pit calls. It's Nicholas Maynard trying to get this outside line going. He'll get a little bit of help from the number 24, James Fountain. But James Fountain will hop right back down in line here. A Corey Riptide Tester, his Chase Johnson Racing teammate, will jump to the outside. They'll pull up on the outside of Jerry Powers. And Chase Johnson Racing looking to soar to the race lead here. 26 laps are complete here around the Echo Park Speedway. A beautiful camera working here around for the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's TV crew here. They bring you some amazing shots around the Echo Park Speedway. Jerry Powers is able to hold on to the race lead, though, off of turns 2. Down the back straightaway, it's Powers, Hochschild, Bryant on the bottom, followed by Tessner, Fountain, and Maynard on the top side. Everett Larson got a little bit of gap there to the number 23 machine. These guys don't need to be pushing this early unless you're really the second guy in line. It's how I was taught and how I was raised to grow up super speedway racing. But this isn't your ordinary super speedway race here at the Echo Park Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. Typically, Nicholas Maynard scraped the outside wall there. He's able to hold it to the fence, though. The kid of Nicholas Maynard scrapes the outside wall there. He's in jeopardy of losing the draft here. He'll have to catch back up there. Everett Larson will slam the outside wall. John Michael Bryant, big loose down on the bottom side of the racetrack. What a save from the number 23 and the number 02 as well. Both of these kids are going to go to the back of the pack here. John Michael Bryant in jeopardy of losing a draft, but it looks like the kid of Nicholas Maynard will pick him up here. They're going to have some work to do here if they want to catch back up to the back of the pack here. Everybody single file. They'll have to snake their way back up to the front here. These guys in jeopardy of losing the back here. 29 laps complete, coming to 30 this time around. Corey Riptide Tester continuing to rip the high side here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jerry Powers trying to battle back down on the bottom side here. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot complete the pass below the red line here through the dogleg or anywhere around the racetrack. It will result in a black flag, and you will be sent to the back of the pack. Ladies and gentlemen, they're battling door to door here. Jerry Powers has brought the speed here tonight in that number 99 closeout back Chevy Camaro. But James Fountain in that Bucks Buddy Looney Tunes twins grading Chevy Camaro has not left the back bumper of his teammate of Corey Riptide Tester. They head across the dogleg here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Give that lap to Jerry Powers. No, give it to Corey Tester that last time around. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so important here because every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. And when the top 5 drivers are playoff drivers, like we have running right now, everything matters. Shake that back. Here comes Jonathan Smith making the top 6 here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, maybe the top 7. As Sean Williams is a playoff driver as well in that number 25 Sean Water Xfinity car. He won the season Xfinity opener at the Daytona International Raceway from East Windsor. The 25's been quiet all year long, but he's got that win in his back pocket to bring him here tonight in the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 guys advance to the playoffs here We will race 4 playoff races. 3 of them will be normal playoff races, with the final and 4th final playoff race being the championship race here. 10 drivers advance here. A win would have gotten you in during the regular season. Ladies and gentlemen, battling door to door here. John Michael Bryan is caught in the back of the pack here with Nicholas Maynard. So these two guys helping one another out here. John Michael Bryan might have a favor to owe to the number 02 here for letting him in line here. Hopefully they can manage their way back up through the pack here. But 10 drivers advance to the playoffs. John Michael Bryan, another one of those guys in the playoffs. He'll join the party up here. So the top 8 drivers, you can currently throw a blanket over James Fountain. Big loose off of turns 3 and 4. What a save there for the number 24 of James Fountain. He's able to hold on to that Looney Tune. Chase Johnson racing Chevy Camaro. Again, ladies and gentlemen, like we said tonight during happy hour, the topic of discussion was handling inside of these race cars here. And how the sun beaming down on this racetrack here, slowly killing the asphalt and taking the grip out of this racetrack. Remember, guys, this place was reconfigured and repaved not too long ago, 3 short years ago in 2022. And I had the gracious ability to be there that day on the opening race for the new pavement and the new style of racing here, door to door. Give that lap to Jerry Powers here. And the closeout pass, number 99, as it looks like the top side line has lost a little bit of help here. 4 guys tack out the top side. It's going to be Tessner, Larson, Fountain, and Williams as the top line, followed by Powers, Hochschild. Looks like going to be Smith, Bryant, and Wall, followed down on the bottom side to Juan Cobbs Jr. Don't want to forget about him. Definitely got to get him on the screen here tonight, driving the number 22 Durango Ford Mustang from Lexington, South Carolina. He'll make the quick trip here tonight to the Atlanta Motor Speedway here in Hampton, Georgia, to participate in the playoff racing here. A not well-funded team here tonight, trying to make ends meet here, trying to get every point possible here, get the payout. Christopher Grant making his Booty Scoot Racing Channel debut here tonight in that Liquid Death number 21 Chevy Camaro. As he's not trying to get down here in the party, get the dancing. Definitely not trying to crank that Soldier Boy in the pack here. As he's making his debut, the last thing he wants to do is mess up somebody's playoff race here tonight. Riding out the front bumper of the race leader, Corey Tessner, as he gets the lap led that last time around. He's looking a headlight underneath Everett Larson, trying to clear himself on that bottom line. The SpongeBob number 8, Chase Johnson racing entry, Corey Tessner getting all kinds of shots from Everett Larson. He's able to clear himself down on the bottom side. Ladies and gentlemen, 37 laps complete out of the scheduled 120 around the Echo Park Speedway here. We will take you down here on the racetrack for MRL's Fast and Loud here as we get ready to hit the 40-lap complete mark. Ladies and gentlemen, reminding you, the more you slap that like button, press that follow button, the louder it'll get. These guys are absolutely riveted around the Echo Park Speedway. 40 laps are complete here in playoff race number 1. A big outside shot there. We got contact to Sean Williams. Corey Tessner collected. As soon as we come back here from the fast and loud here, looks like the caution flag is flown back here. Corey Riptide Tessner hard on the outside wall here. So is Sean Williams. And we will back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel as we always do here. Right as we come back from the fast and loud here. Trouble for the number 25 of Sean Williams here. We've seen him pancake the outside wall. Right as the camera angle slid over there, he rode right through that dogleg. Corey Tessner involved as well here. Sean Williams leading the outside of the walk to the outside line here. Trying to come up off the corner. Corey Tessner already loose, chasing it up the racetrack. Out of the bottom line groove, Corey Tessner makes contact there with Sean Williams. And Sean Williams goes hard on the outside wall. Here comes Corey Tessner back across traffic. John Michael Bryan able to get back through that, though. Sean Williams will be the one with the most damage here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up one more time and see if we can't ride out the front nose of Sean Williams here as we see what happened here. Sailing 2 turns 3 and 4. James Fountain, the race leader. Corey Tessner showing him up the racetrack there just a little bit, following James Fountain. Bam! Hard on the outside wall. Sean Williams was able to hold on to it there. Corey Riptide Tessner battling some handling conditions inside of that race car. He's able to hold on to it, though. The caution flag is out, and Peter's on the race car. The racetrack will be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Well, back here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel underneath the caution flag for the 4th time here tonight after Corey Riptide Tessner gets a big loose out of the corner here for the Madness Racing League Saturday Night Xfinity Series Playoff presented to you by Pretty Tasty To Go Food Service in upstate South Carolina, reminding you to go get you a fresh plate today. We're decked down here on the broadcast here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and let me tell you, pit road's getting ready to be at one busy place. James Fountain's bringing everybody and their mother down here on the pit road. Looks like the whole field will come down pit road. Everybody will stay out on the racetrack, but Corey Riptide Tessner here as everybody finds their way down here on the pit road to find the correct stalls here. We'll see how things shake out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard's guys look like they're going to hop the crew. We'll stick right here with the number 02. That looks like they're going to work the right side of the race car here. So at least right side tires for the kid of Nicholas Maynard. He was working his way there. We've seen him scrape the outside wall here. We'll watch for the battle off pit road. Give it to John Michael Bryan over James Fountain, who'll get it over Jerry Powers. They give it to Blake Hochschild, Nicholas Maynard, Chris, and then you got to give it to, looks like going to be Travo, so Christopher Grant will get out on pit road. A couple more guys are stuck there, assessing some of the damage there. Corey Riptide Tessner will get big loose there and chase it up the racetrack here like a lost dog. And running out of racetrack here again, the guys underneath the happy hour here for the practice session. Chris Knighty not happy with the way that he was raced by Corey Tessner. We're getting ready to just say something about that. Chris Knighty all over the back bumper of the number 8 of Corey Tessner here, just showing his displeasure here as you ride out the back bumper of the race leader, Chris Knighty, giving him the middle finger. We'll have the viewer discretion advised here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chris Knighty scheduled 10 laps down here. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to try to get every position possible here. Here comes Jonathan Smith off pit road right now on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. So we should get the Want to Go Racing this time around from Peter the Pace car here. Tensions are starting to boil here at the Echo Park Speedway. And when Chris Knighty drops to the back here and looks like everybody's going to go double file, yes they will. We'll pull up the pit stop lap here. This is how everything shaked off. So everybody just pitted on this previous lap besides the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tessner. Currently right there in front of your screen. Everybody else you see pitted on lap 22, like Everett Larson, John Michael Bryant, Christopher Grant, Nicholas Maynard, Juan Cobbs Jr., John Smith will pit on lap 8, come back down this previous last time around. Sean Williams will pit with the group. Chris Knighty last pitted on lap 20 to probably finish up the rest of that damage that he got earlier in tonight's race. Corey Riptide Tesner. Didn't realize I guess we are in Atlanta tonight, and he is out there tonight on some old tires and a fuming fuel cell inside of that number 8. I was hearing from the admin anywhere between 58 to 57 laps in gas. 45 completed for the number 8 of Corey Tesner. He topped off on lap 5. So I would say he could go to about lap 61, 62 or so inside of that SpongeBob number 8 machine. But Corey Tesner's going to have the tire disadvantage here, it looks like, to the rest of the field. So this one should be one interesting restart right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jerry Powers will lose the lead here, and he'll have to re-rack it here in that number 99 closeout bats machine. Back here getting ready to go racing here in the 5th place spot on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Peter the pace car is off. Getting ready to go racing here. Looks like it's going to be Corey Riptide Tesner. Slamming back on the gas. Green here at the Echo Park Speedway here. The MRL Xfinity playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are ripping back through the gears here. Looks like door to door here. It's going to be Jerry Powers and Blake Hochschild. James Fallon trying to get to the back bumper of Everett Lawrence as they try to get through the gears. Your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant, jumps up on the outside line. Corey Tesner's late in the block. Your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant, celebrating his 30th birthday here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. He's looking for the race lead off turns 3 and 4. He'll be door to door with Everett Lawrence, not quite enough to get there to the SpongeBob number 8 machine of Corey Riptide Tesner. John Michael Bryant trying everything in his power. He'll up on the top side of the racetrack here. Looks like Corey Tesner will jump lanes here to the top side to try to throw the block on the number 23. John Michael Bryant's not going to have any of it. Crash back here on the back straightaway. Caution back here on the back straightaway. Blake Hochschild hard in the outside wall. Juan Cobbs Jr. looks like he was involved. Terry Hughes Jr. in it as well. Blake Hochschild takes a hellacious shot here on the back straightaway. Chris Knighty's front hood is absolutely hitting the gritty here on the back straightaway. We will back that ass up here for a instant replay on the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series and take a look and see what the hell just happened here. It looks like everybody was able to jump down on the bottom side of the racetrack here and avoid it. Blake Hochschild here on the top side of the racetrack here. You don't see it very much out of the number 2. Getting loose out of the corner here. He'll slip on the outside wall. Contact to the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. Airborne by the triple deuce machine. And pow! Into the inside wall there for the number 2 of Blake Hochschild here. We'll back that ass up one more time and see if we can't ride out the front bumper of badass Blake Hochschild. Blake Hochschild trying everything in his willpower to get around these guys here on the top side of the racetrack here. The line just started to get formed. The boogeyman, Corey Tesner, jumps up there. Blake Hochschild flicks the outside wall. He'll hit it one more time, and everybody else just continues to pile on into him here. Nowhere to go. Pow! For the number 2 machine, Chris Knighty here. Big damage there to the triple deuce NVIDIA Ford Mustang. He'll have to come back down pit road and get that addressed here. Kyle Fountain still stuck on pit road, but it's going to be Terry Hughes Jr. getting through it, as well as Juan Cobbs Jr. Blake Hochschild, all kinds of tore up here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll take a commercial break and be back after this. Don't go nowhere.
No warning, in a flash of flight, don't need no warning. This feeling's right, vibrations show through my bones, sensations flow through your glow. So incredible, the way I feel with you, so phenomenal. And you always push me through, unforgettable. The way I feel with you, unbelievable. And you always push me through, electrified with you, electrified. Electrified with you.
Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel underneath the caution flag as the drivers come down on the pit road here to top off on some Sunoco Racing fuel and some Goodyear Fresh Eagles here. Jerry Powers is just going to drive right on through here, so he'll stay out on the racetrack here and take the track position. Corey Tesner will finally come down here and succeed the race lead here and take a pit stop. Everybody else still stuck down here on pit road as well. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Travo Wall down on pit road in his box as well. So a couple guys will stay out on the racetrack. And I would have to imagine that'll be the guys that had previously pitted underneath the caution flag beforehand. And ladies and gentlemen, particularly the ladies, anybody over 30, John Michael Bryant, celebrating his 30th birthday today, and he will sell out of that Gorilla Mind t-shirt hat combo for $50 on his hauler trailer, as he's got some true outstanding fans here packed out at the Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. John Michael Bryant will be the race leader, and it'll be James Fountain following right behind him. Nicholas Maynard will get a donut on the right door there from the number 2 of Blake Hochschild out of a little incident right there on the back straightaway off of turn 2. Corey Tesner will bring it on back down the pit road. He's back out here on the racetrack. He'll scoot back up to the 4th place spot after pitting. Everett Larson will slide his number 01 Food City Ford Mustang back out here on the racetrack to the 5th place spot. Christopher Grant making his Booty Scoot Racing debut here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The Liquid Death number 21 Chevy Camaro just trying to stay out of trouble and not try to ruin anybody's chances at possibly bringing home the victory here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. And he is filling in the field here tonight. Juan Cox Jr. coming to the back of the field to catch the pack. Ladies and gentlemen, Travo Wall driving the number 7 Ford Mustang Moroso for Rock and Roll Racing. Excuse me. Try saying that 5 times fast. Travo Wall having one hellacious run here tonight. He has been in the top 7 since the drop of the green flag. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go back racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant, the Boogeyman, will be the race leader. Blake Hochschild will catch the tail end of the field here after bringing out the caution flag there and collecting the outside wall off of turns 3 and 4. Well, turns 2, excuse me. All hands are in the Boogeyman. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be the guy to take us back racing here with 50 laps complete. We are getting ready to go racing with going to be 70 laps to go here in the playoff race here at the Echo Park Speedway. John Michael Bryant, speaking of playoff, green, a playoff driver leading them back here to the green flag underneath the MRL logo banner, whatever the hell you want to call it. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This has been one hell of a race here tonight. John Michael Bryant will get pushed by the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard out here to the race lead. James Fountain and Corey Tesner, the Chase Johnson Racing teammates on the outside. Nicholas Maynard and John Michael Bryant nose to tail here. Nicholas Maynard will come to the attach through turns 3 and 4. Still trying to climb the banking and grab a couple of gears here. Door to door will be through the dog leg. John Michael Bryant and James Fountain. The number 21 of Christopher Grant will lose a little bit of momentum there to Everett Larson and that number 01. And Terry Hughes Jr. has got that number 81 Oreo Ritz. 81 XI Racing Ford Mustang back ripping and rolling here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 9 laps down, currently sitting in the lucky dog position. He currently sits behind the number 13 of Jonathan Smith. Travo Wall, the number 7 climbing the ranking. He's riding right behind the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. So here comes Rock and Roll Racing, rock and rolling their way to the front of the pack here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Here in playoff race number 1, Jonathan Smith will jump ship to the top side of the racetrack here. That'll allow the number 25 of Sean Williams to have a dancing partner to suck his way back up here to the back bumper of the number 13. And the kind of sucking we're talking about ain't the type that your ex-girlfriend used to do to you. The number 81 down on the bottom side of the racetrack here, just not able to get the gas down here, battling some handling conditions to pull up to the back bumper of the number 7 of Travo Wall. Door to door across the line here will be the Boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. not able to lead the lap that time around. You'll have to give it to the number 24 car of James Fountain. They'll battle door to door here through turns 1 and 2 here. It'll be the boogeyman forward back down on the bottom side here. Nicholas Maynard trying to get into the back bumper of John Michael Bryant. As I sound like I'm lagging, I'm talking so damn fast here. The kid of Nicholas Maynard will put the back bumper there. The front bumper to the back bumper of the number 23 here. That'll give John Michael Bryant the advantage off turns 3 and 4 here through the dog leg. Here comes the boogeyman powering his way to the race lead. 55 laps are complete here around the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it's been one hell of a show up to this point. You're looking throughout the TV tower cam here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Travel Wall on the outside here, keeping a safe distance from the mayhem in front of them. Everett Larson's rolling to the back bumper of the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesner. They're able to hold on to it here. What a shot around the Echo Park Speedway. Not a ticket left to buy unless you're in the standing room only. Ladies and gentlemen, here the crowd is on their feet. Here's John Michael Bryant, the birthday boy, looking for a birthday victory here tonight. He'll jump into the top side of the racetrack. That'll open up the door for the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. And the battle for the race lead is on down the back straightaway. John Michael Bryant sees the top side line moving here on the Woody Scoot Racing channel. He'll jump ship to join him. It'll be Bryant, Fountain, Tesner, Larson on the outside. Tesner gets shipped up a little bit by Everett. Everett's able to hold on to it, though. That'll make the outside line lose the drafting help that they need to get going. But John Michael Bryant will soar back down. He'll throw the block across the front nose of the number 02. And the boogeyman's back out front here in Atlanta. Things are starting to heat up here as we slowly start to clear off towards the halfway point of this race. 57 laps are complete, going to be 58 this time around. John Michael Bryant down on the bottom side of the racetrack there below the apron. He's got some problems inside of that number 23. John Michael Bryant sounding a little sour here inside of that motor. Could have the boogeyman that just dropped the cylinder here from the race lead. The boogeyman, not what he needed here on his birthday. He'll drop to the back of the pack. That'll open up the door for the kid of Nicholas Maynard. He'll lead him here across turns 3 and 4. 58 laps complete, going to be 59 this time around. Nicholas Maynard, the race leader. Every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. The 02 Penske Maynard Motors committed to the bottom side. It'll be Maynard, Smith. It looks like it'll be Larson, Hughes, Powers, and 90 down on the bottom side here. So Maynard and Smith and Everett, the playoff drivers here, got a train wreck of wrecked cars behind them in line here, but the numbers will prevail here. James Fountain will have no choice but to jump down on the bottom side here. 60 laps are complete here. We have officially hit the halfway mark here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. And if you've been tuned in on the TikTok channel up to this point, we gladly appreciate you staying with us. On the outside wall goes Corey Riptide Tesner. Damn near about to start a fire out there. He'll rub it down good like P. Diddy. No homo, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know where that one came from. It's Jerry Powers in the number 99. Has the damaged car of Chris Knighty, who has no hood on that Triple Deuce machine. But he is still rolling big-time speed here around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. See if we can't ride out the front bumper of Chris Knighty, the front hood that he does no longer have here. So overheating will be no issue for the number Triple Deuce of Chris Knighty here. Redneck is racing, and you best ask the NVIDIA Triple Deuce, his team doing everything in their power to make sure that the Triple Deuce stays out here on the racetrack to be able to get every position possible. Currently, Rester 10 laps down, and he can get the wave around if he wanted here. As Corey Tesner losing tons of spots here. He's in jeopardy of losing a draft here as he tries to stay behind the number 21 of Christopher Grant here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 62 laps complete here. The kid of Nicholas Maynard leads them here around the Atlanta Motor Speedway here. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll throw it down onto the track for the night's final Fast and Loud from the Echo Park Speedway to kick off the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series playoffs. The more you smash that like button, the louder it'll get. the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And the leader is a new one, Everett Larson in the number 01 Stacking Pennies podcast. Ford Mustang has made his way to the race lead here as he'll slip underneath the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard off of turns 1 and 2 here. Nicholas Maynard will lead the bottom open. And Everett Larson is just a skinny fellow. He'll fit right underneath him. 67 laps are complete here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's been one hell of a race up to this point. And we'd gladly appreciate it if you smack that like button, press that follow button, check out the top right of your screen, head on over to the YouTube page at Booty Scoot Racing channel and follow us there, and you can catch all of the full races posted there. We got it. You want it, we have it. You name it, they got it. Whatever the hell you want to call it. We have a show here tonight underneath the sun this afternoon in Hampton, Georgia at the Echo Park Speedway. We're rolling at about 22 laps green at this point for the playoff race number 1 here tonight. And let me tell you something, brother. R.I.P. and the Hulkamaniac, and he'll go join Jesus this weekend. Tearing it up there, body slamming Andre the Giant one more time, the Hulkster. Looking down here at the Echo Park Speedway. Let these guys absolutely going at it. And he'll crack a smile on his face here, but James Fountain looking to pile drive his way to the front of the pack here into the race lead. The numbers are in the favorite on the outside. It's going to be Fountain, Smith, Maynard, Williams, and Bryant. And Larson, Powers, and Terry Hughes Jr. is riding down the bottom side. Here comes Travo Wall. The kid of Nicholas Maynard will jump down from the top side, down to the bottom side through the dog legs. 70 laps are complete here. 50 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everett Larson's able to pull out to a little bit of a gap there over the number 99, which is not really what he needs here, but Jerry Powers is able to close the gap up into the corner there, but Jonathan Smith's not really connected well to the back bumper of the number 24 of James Fountain. So James Fountain and them just dancing here through turns 3 and 4 across the dog leg on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, reminding you folks, why are they going below the red line? Because it's prohibited here in the Madness Racing League. No passing below the yellow line or the red line here. A couple guys placed on the aggressive driving list to begin tonight's event here early. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Riptide Tesler scrapes the outside of wall there. He has lost touch with the front pack here, as well as Christopher Grant, Juan Cobbs Jr., and Blake Koschchild. These guys have big damage on these race cars. Everett Larson will make the move for the race lead here. He'll lead another lap here and add another point to his total score. Everett Larson locked into the Madness Racing League playoffs here in Season 2. A couple of these guys able to find their ways back again for another chance at the championship. Showtime Chase Johnson currently off the racetrack. He had to take the trip quick and early to the infield care center about 8 laps into the night's event after a hard shot to the outside wall. Will knock the breath out of the number 5 and bend the toe link on that machine. So Chase Johnson racing out of the night's event here, but he's still got a chartered entry of James Fountain up here trying to battle for the race win here. James Fountain, though, at some point going to have to play driver versus team. Do what's best for him here. Is 3 cars for Showtime Chase Johnson Racing locked into the playoffs. We can only have one champion. James Fountain is looking to make something shake here down on the bottom side as these guys are slowly approaching the lap traffic. That's the number 2 Toyota Supra of Blake Koschchild. Jerry Powers will bobble and weave there out of turn 3 and 4. That'll cost him big time. And Blake Koschchild will play the smart game here, and he'll go below the white line here to make sure that the guys on the lead lap can go through here. 4 guys are able to battle for the race lead here off turns 1 and 2 here. These guys are going to have to get back single file here so they can catch the back pack. That'll leave the kid of Nicholas Maynard all by himself here on the outside line with no dancing partner here as Jonathan Smith will plug the hole down on the bottom side behind the number 24 of James Fountain. Everett Larson and the number 01 continues to lead them here around the Echo Park Speedway to kick off the playoffs here for the Xfinity Series. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning up, here's the pit stop strategy lap count call. Everett Larson, Jonathan Smith, and Jerry Powers, along with Travo Wall, the guys that's currently filled in on your screen all the way back from the red car to the front leader. Last pitted on lap 48, but there's contact made there with James Fountain. James Fountain able to hold on to that race car. What a save from the number 24. James Fountain with a huge save there. We'll have to get that thing back under control here. He's in jeopardy of losing a lap here. Nicholas Maynard and Jonathan Smith will battle here. The kid of Nicholas Maynard will jump up to the top side here. The battle, Everett Larson will get out to a little bit of a gap there, about a 3 or 4 car gap lead over Jonathan Smith. That'll open up the door for Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith is absolutely to the outside wall. Caution flag will fly here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel as smoke pours out the back end of the number 13 of Jonathan Smith here with a hammer shot to the outside wall. We'll back that ass up here, as we always do, for a instant replay. Haven't had a caution flag in about 34 laps here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And it looks like Jonathan Smith here, guys, again, underneath the happy hour, with the guys that weren't drinking the beer, taking happy hour literally, out here practicing. Said the handling was the biggest part of the night's problems. Big loose off the corner, pow! Huge shot to that outside safer barrier wall for Jonathan Smith, driver of the Nap Daddy Racing number 13 Premier setup. We'll back it up one more time and right out the front bumper of the number 13 as he takes one hellacious shot here to the outside wall. Let's take a look. Jonathan Smith trying on the top side here. Everett Larson was coming up the block anyway, but Jonathan Smith just big loose off the corner there, collects the outside wall. And he's right here in front of pit road. His Nap Daddy crew already on the wall, ready to address the damage on the number 13. With that being said, the caution flag will fly. We'll take a quick commercial break and be back after that. Don't know nowhere. Bang, bang, back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and you best believe it, we're going to have one busy-ass pit road this time around here. On about 30-something plus laps there. Underneath the green flag conditions, it's caused them here, but Everett Larson and Nicholas Maynard will have the gap advantage here from when the caution come out here to come down pit road here, so we'll have to see how things shake out. Travel Wall will slide into his box. His Rock and Roll Racing number 17 will hop the wall. They'll jack up the right side of the race car, so it's going to be at least right side Goodyear tires for the number 7 Maruso Ford Mustang. It'll be 4 Goodyear tires for the number 7 to Travel Wall. It'll come down pit road, but it looks like Jerry Powers is going to get the win over Everett Larson off pit road, followed by the kid of Nicholas Maynard. James Fountain will get the fourth place spot. You can give it to Corey Tesner over Travel Wall there. That's a close one off pit road. And yes, you'll have to give it to Corey Tesner. John Michael Bryant over over Christopher Grant and everybody else here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jonathan Smith here, they got the right front tire off of that race car. Trying to assess the damage. And he is smoking out the right front of that race car here as the pack catches Peter the pace car. We're working the caution flag for the 4th time here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the Booty Scoot Racing channel's MRL Madness Racing League Xfinity Series playoff race number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, as these guys double file, behind Peter the pace car here. Here's the Madness Racing League's Xfinity Series remaining schedule. We're playoff racing here tonight to kick it off at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Which one of these guys are going to lock their way into the championship race? Gloves are off here early. We got about 40 laps to go here when we get ready to go back racing. Short track racing 2 weeks from now at the Richmond Raceway for 120 laps around Richmond. Should be one hell of a show. Then we'll head on over to Auto Club, where we will cut down our final 4 drivers. Hopefully we'll have some new winners in, and we'll have to playing a little point style here, so it's going to be one hell of a show for the next couple of weeks here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And then we're at Homestead for 120 laps for the Madness Racing League Championship Series, but it's going to be the conclusion of tonight's race here first before we head anywhere anytime soon. Looks like it's going to be Jerry Powers, the pole sitter, back out front here. So the pit cycle took a while to cycle its way back out here, but his closeoutbats.com pit crew will have one hell of a stop here. They'll get him back out here in the race lead. He'll have Everett Larson on the side of him and Nicholas Maynard, the kid, pushing right behind him. Green, 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 green. 40 laps remaining here in playoff race number 1 for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Ladies and gentlemen, as they climb the banking through turns 1 and 2, ripping through the gears. Travo Wall will have only the number 24 of James Fountain to help him with on the outside. But here comes a hard charging, steaming number 21, Christopher Grant on the outside, and Juan Cox Jr. will jump up there as well. And he'll bring the disco ball to the party and take it right back from him. Here comes the number 02. He'll jump to the top side, and Everett Larson to follow. Nicholas Maynard will throw a little head fake there, jump back down on the bottom side. He'll join Jerry Powers, down on the bottom side, but Everett Larson able to lead the lap that last time around. No, you have to give it to Jerry Powers with no help. James Fountain will send it 3 wide up the middle. Everett Larson will get collected into the outside wall. Everett Larson will get collected to the outside wall. Caution flag will fly here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain will get into the left rear of Everett Larson there, send him up the racetrack here. We'll back that ass up for an instant replay. The 14-year-old Stacking Pennies podcast, Food City Ford Mustang of Everett Larson will go around here. He'll slap the outside wall there after contact with the number 24, Chase Johnson Racing chartered entry, James Fountain here. This will happen right underneath your nose. So make sure you're paying close attention here. This is going to be one crazy shot. Bang! Hard on the outside wall there. James Fountain just with a huge run there, probably about 10, 15 miles an hour faster, it looked like, than the rest of the pack there, and nowhere to go to send it 3 wide. I'm assuming we'll ride out the front bumper here of James Fountain. We'll take a look and see exactly what the hell just happened here. As we've seen James Fountain get it to the left rear. He was definitely coming with a run here, but doesn't even try to square up the number 01 of Everett Larson. Just gets into him there, sends him back. Everett Larson collected in the outside wall here. The caution flag will fly here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the number 01 of Everett Larson. We'll take that commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
To me, ECPI is a game changer.
Accelerated degrees in
Another monkey.
Welcome back here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, the Madness Racing League Saturday Night Xfinity Series. Playoff racing here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. Presented to you by NapDaddy Racing Designs. Head on over to napdaddyracing.com for all your iRacing paint schemes, liveries, and needs. Ladies and gentlemen, the Saturday Night Xfinity Series presented to you by Flawless Detailing Company. Perfection in every detail. Go check them out at Flawless Detail Company on Instagram. Go see Carson White. Tell him the Madness Racing League sent you. The Saturday Night Xfinity Series presented to you by Creek Water Risky River Risky, whatever the hell you want to call it. I sound like I've had one too many shots my damn self. The Madness Racing League Xfinity Series presented to you by CloseOutBats.com. Since 1992, over 650,000 satisfied customers. Back down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we're riding about 10,000 feet above the racetrack here with Billy the Blimp Driver. We've been throwing back Budweiser's underneath the caution flag during the commercial break here. And I can start to say, ladies and gentlemen, those buses are starting to look like Long Crown Vics at this point, as I can barely keep my vision straight. Jerry Powers will jump down from the race lead here. to go address some damage or to possibly pit that number 99 machine. Not sure what's going wrong with the number 99 of Jerry Powers. That'll give the lead to the kid of Nicholas Maynard here with about 36, 35 laps to go when we get ready to go back racing. Corey Powers will redeem the second place spot here. And Travo Wall, the number 7 Moroso Ford Mustang for Rock and Roll Racing, having the run of his career here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway. Not locked into the playoffs, but definitely trying to spoil the party here tonight if he can. He's got a bad, fast, great-looking race car here tonight. He'll line up behind his Rock and Roll Racing teammate here on the restart here, Juan Cobbs Jr., driving the Azul Flight Company number 22 Ford Mustang from Lexington, South Carolina. Looking to make something shake here tonight. He's found his way up to the top 5 here with a less than 40 laps to go. And the Boogeyman celebrating his big 30th birthday here today. Driving that Gorilla Mind Toyota Supra. Seen him pull off from the race lead here, battling some handling conditions inside of that race car. We learned he'll ask for a half-pound right rear air pressure adjustment and a couple clicks out the back wedge bar. And he's looking to make his way and charge his way to the front. Christopher Grant making his booty scoot debut here. Excuse me. Tonight at the Echo Park Speedway in the number 21 Liquid Death Chevy Camaro. He's had a great race up to this point. He's up 11 spots. Just trying to stay out of harm's way here. Don't want to mess up anybody's playoffs hope here. When it's your first time out here in the field, that's not what you want. So Peter the Pace Car's got the lights off on top of that big-ass jacked-up truck of his. I swear he thinks he's a redneck at times. He'll have the kid and Corey Tesner right behind him to lead us through the Echo Park restart zone. Getting ready to go back racing here with less than 35 laps to go. When we take the green flag, Nicholas Maynard's going to be in charge. Through the Echo Park restart zone, we are green here on the Winning School Racing channel for playoff race number 1. Less than 50 miles separate a guy in the playoffs and a chance at a championship here in season 2. The kid of Nicholas Maynard will have Corey Tesler jump down right behind him here. It'll be single file down on the bottom side all the way back to Juan Cobbs Jr., who'll have to fill the hole in front of the number 21 Liquid Death Machine of Christopher Grant. Christopher Grant will be graciously a great driver there and let off the gas for the number 22 here. James Fountain, though, gridlocked behind the number 21. Needs to get up into the front of the pack here as he's playoff racing, and that's exactly what he'll do. He'll look to the right side of the number 21 to try to get him to budge, but the 21 won't do that here. We'll jump back up into the front of the pack here. Nicholas Maynard, Tesler, right in the front 3. Travo Wall will jump to the outside of the racetrack here. He'll jump and try to have somebody jump up with him. Looks like the number 21 of Christopher Grant will do it. Travo Wall, the number 7, Rock and Roll Racing, rocking and rolling his way to the front of the pack here. He'll jump on the outside. He's got a hard charging train right behind him. Looking out the front nose of the number 7 of Travo Wall here. 87 laps are complete. Travo Wall trying to spoil the party here. You can best believe Travo Wall has his foot through the firewall inside of that number 7. They fly down the back straightaway. Blake Hochschild in that number 2 Toyota Supra has had one hellacious race here tonight. Chris Knighty, big loose off the corner. What a save for the Triple Deuce. The number 2 of Blake Hochschild, back to what I was saying. Doing everything in his power, trying to make something shake here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just came off the injury reserve list after dropping a dry shaft last week at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the next gen race on his hand. He'll fire that crew member. Heard that guy failed a drug test here. He'll no longer be employed at the Paint House Motorsports facility. Blake Hochschild, though, with a great run here on Thursday night in the Truck Series at Richmond. Trying to do the same thing here tonight. Trying to get that number 2 Toyota Supra dialed in here. 89, coming to 90 laps complete this next time around. Ladies and gentlemen, now would be a great time to plug you in on the YouTube channel located in the top right of your screen. Head on over to the YouTube page at Booty School Racing channel to find all the conclusion and full races posted there. Head on over to the TikTok page where you can find all the clips and highlights from your favorite race, from your favorite driver. Juan Cobbs Jr. really trying to hold the bottom side of the racetrack here, battling some handling conditions inside of that race car here. Nicholas Maynard leads him off turn 2. You're riding out the back bumper of the race leader. Corey Tesner will pull it to the back bumper of Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard tails up off the bottom side of the racetrack there, trying to show the number 8 of Corey Tesner there's still some room to be raced down there. So he doesn't have to try to get it. Corey Tesner trying to get the left rear quarter panel. Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard will shut the air off into turn 1. Climbing the banking here at 180 miles an hour. Travel Wall trying to lead this outside line somewhere, especially to the race lead, and he's finally got it up there to that second place spot here. He's got Christopher Grant, Everett Larson, and Sean Williams stacked up on that top side. Nicholas Maynard on the bottom, followed by Tesner, Bryant, Cobbs Jr., and Fountain will be the front 5 on the bottom side here. 30 laps to go, excuse me. As I grew up in the South Carolina Public School District, that's why my math is kind of shitty. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the back half of tonight's first playoff race here. Tons of guys are still in it here. Several guys never won a race before on the Booty School Racing channel. Not playoff eligible, able to spoil the party here tonight. So every point earned is very, very, very valuable when it comes to trying to score points and racing inside of these playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, 10 guys advanced to the playoffs from the regular season. They had 6 races to try to earn a win. It was win in, you're in. Showtime Chase Johnson was the only multiple time winner we had on the whole year. James Fountain was able to pick up a win as he currently battles his way right here behind the number 22 of Juan Cobbs Jr. Christopher Grant trying to get to that back bumper of Travel Wall, just not able to get the run to the back bumper of the number 7 that he's looking for when he has absolutely no help behind him. And Travel Wall screaming inside of that race car that he's got to get this outside line going if they want to get something shaking here on the Booty School Racing channel. But it's starting to file down, single file here on the Booty School Racing channel as we approach the 25 lap mark to go next time around. Ladies and gentlemen, want to remind you that these guys could only go 50 to about 60 laps threshold in gas on a full tank of fuel. Of Sunoco race fuel here will bring up the pit stop lap strategy here. All these guys pitted about 18 to 19 laps to go to top off majority of the field. You have to shake back there to James Fountain, driving that in purple number 24 Looney Tunes Chase Johnson Racing Camaro for the last guy to pit the most recently, on lap number 82. So James Fountain knows that he is to the good here on the back half of here, and he should be set for a green-white checkered if we were to get to it. Nicholas Maynard, though, hoping and praying to knock off these last 25 laps next time around on the Booty School Racing channel. It'll be the kid of Maynard, Tesner, Bryant, Wall, rounding out the top 4. Trevor Wall finally getting some help on that outside. Trevor Wall has been here all year long here, led some laps earlier this year on the Booty School Racing channel, staying out underneath the caution flag here. Had a chance to win it at the Chicagoland Speedway, but his crew chief will fall asleep on the pit box here and let the one win slip away out of the number 7 of Travel Wall here. But Travel Wall talking to him down on pit road before the race. He said it felt like his best chance to win a race was here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And his guys have been putting in the extra work necessary all week long to make sure they have a fast rock and roll racing. Moroso's number 7 Ford Mustang here tonight. Juan Cobbs Jr. been on the sick list, hasn't been here all year long. He'll start the season at the Daytona International Raceway. He'll come back in here tonight. So Juan Cobbs Jr. not playoff eligible here with enough completion. He doesn't have enough races participated in to lock himself into the playoffs with a win or on points here. So Juan Cobbs Jr. just trying to fill in the field here tonight. He'll start in park, but he'll have a great chance with the draft here tonight and trying to pick up the victory. Sean Williams won the Daytona season opener to kick off the Season 2 Xfinity Series, doing exactly what he's doing right now. Playing that patience game, riding at the back of the field, letting everybody take themselves out here. 24 laps to go here on the Booty School Racing channel. things are starting to dial down here, but as the laps continue to pick off here, you best believe it, the anticipation is going to heat up here. Several playoff drivers riding out in the top 5 here, knowing with a win here tonight will lock you into the championship race at the Homestead Miami Speedway, and you won't even have to worry about the upcoming races in the next few weeks. But if you're not a playoff driver, spoiling the party, Jerry Powers Jr. collects Juan Cobbs Jr. Big save there by the number 22 of Juan Cobbs Jr. from Lexington, South Carolina. Absolutely holding on to that race car here to keep it green with 23 laps remaining on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Our caution flag is not what the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard's wanting to see here. 22 laps to go across the line. So to better straighten out the playoff bracket for you here, Nicholas Maynard, currently the first person out in the playoffs on points. He's the 5th person in points. A win here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway would lock him into the championship race, and Corey Riptide Tessner knows that. He'll jump on the outside of the racetrack here, looking for his Chase Johnson Racing teammate number 24 of James Fountain. Corey Tessner with a win here on the Xfinity Series locked him into the playoffs. He's got a chance to race for a season 2. Corey Tessner not locked into the playoff here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I'm pretty positive that he was the 3rd or 4th person out on points here. So Corey Riptide Tessner trying everything in his bag to bring that number 24 of James Fountain up here to the front to try to get him the victory here tonight, to get him into the championship race. But the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant will roll to the back bumper of Nicholas Maynard through the dog leg here. John Michael Bryant celebrating his 30th birthday here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway, and he is knocking on the door to the best birthday present possible. Victory lane here, the Gorilla Mod will be clear of both lanes here. Where will the number 23 stay committed? Will he jump to the top side of Corey Tessner here? Earlier, John Michael Bryant jumped up to the outside in front of the number 24 of James Fountain, and the outside line was able to sail past for the race lead here. Or does he stay committed to the bottom side with 19 laps to go this time around? John Michael Bryant getting ready to start boogieing. That's the boogeyman here. Less than 20 laps to go. And the boogeyman is knocking on the back door of victory lane and a possible playoff championship spot. He'll get the back bumper shoved to Nicholas Maynard. And he'll have Jerry Powers all in the mirror here for the number 23 Gorilla Mob Machine of John Michael Bryant. 18 laps to go this time around. We will take you down on the racetrack for the night's final Madness Racing League Fast and Loud, and we'll have the conclusion with a race winner on the other side. John Michael Bryant up out of the groove, 3 wide through turn 22. Laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You're riding with Billy the Blimp Driver. Ladies and gentlemen, the gloves are off. As soon as we went down there on the racetrack for the night's Madness Racing League's final Fast and Loud of the night, John Michael Bryant with a hellacious save to the number 23 machine. As you see him come in on the bottom side of your screen there, he's moved up to the top side of the line here, trying to carry the momentum in that number 23 Toyota Supra. The whole field packed out up on your screen in one shot here from Billy the Blimp driver. Nicholas Maynard and Corey Tesner battle door to door here with 14 laps to go around the Echo Park Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, similar to Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski style, the Team Penske number 02 of Nicholas Maynard down on the bottom side. Rock and Roll Racing teammate of Travel Wall will get tied up the racetrack there. Up the middle of the track, he'll tag the the left rear quarter panel of James Fountain. That'll suck James Fountain back just a tad bit from the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesner. And Corey won't have the push needed to get around the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard down into turns 1 and 2 here on the Video Scoot Racing channel. 13 laps to go here. 12 laps to go next time around between one of these drivers in victory lane, possibly a chance at a championship spot. Corey Tesner, big loose out of the corner there. He's got James Fountain absolutely all over the back end of that number 8 SpongeBob Chevy Camaro. James Fountain will look a little bit high, trying to collect some momentum to try to get to the back bumper of Corey Riptide Tesner. Corey Tesner will play the middle side here, try to side draft off the number 7 of Travel Wall. A little contact made right there between the 7 and the 8. And don't you start your TikTok 6, 7, 8 bullshit with me either. 12 laps to go here on the Video Scoot Racing channel. The kid out front, Jerry Powers, looking out on the bottom side. Can he get momentum to get back around him? Jerry Powers looking to the top side here, but he'll have to wait if he's looking for a little bit more help here from Corey Tesner and James Fountain. 10 laps to go here in playoff race number 1 next time around. The kid of Nicholas Maynard leads it, followed by Jerry Powers, Tesner, Wall, and Fountain. Jerry Powers gets big loose off the corner. He's able to hold on to it. So does Trevor Wall. 2 great saves by 2 great race car drivers. James Fountain will lose a big touch there. That'll suck up everybody else. That'll lose the back half draft to Nicholas Maynard. He's a sitting duck up here. This is a disaster. This is not what the kid of Nicholas Maynard needs. Too far away for the pack behind him. The momentum should be one hellacious of a train wreck run to the back bumper of the number 02 here. Nicholas Maynard running for his life out of turns 3 and 4. He should be a sitting duck here. James Fountain and Corey Tesner have him right where he wants him. James Fountain looking to play the game to himself. He'll go down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. They pick up Jerry Powers. They'll catch the back bumper of Nicholas Maynard right at the perfect time there in the turns 1 and 2. I would have to imagine Nicholas Maynard was shitting bricks here on the Video Scoot Racing channel. And he had to let off the gas there. Travel Wall will chase the car up the racetrack here and collect the outside wall there off of turns 1 and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 8 laps to go here this time around. Nicholas Maynard has been the guy out front here for the last 22 laps here. Can he hold on to it? 8 laps to go. Jerry Powers never won a race here on the Video Scoot Racing channel. Playoff driver here tonight at Atlanta. Will it be his night to lock himself into the championship? Corey Riptide Tesner pissed a couple drivers off here tonight. 2 incidents involving his name in a radio incident. Could Corey Tesner be racing for his life here tonight? Already on the aggressive driving lift. He's got to play it smart here. The SpongeBob machine trying its hardest to bring it from Bikini Bottom to the front here. 7 laps to go this time around. James Fountain driving that number 24 Looney Tunes machine, trying to do everything in his power. Juan Cobbs Jr. big loose off the corner, but he's able to hold on to it. That'll open up the door for Travel Wall and the number 7 Moroso's Ford Mustang. Sean Williams will throw the block through turns 3 and 4 here. 6 laps to go across the Video Scoot Racing channel. Start-finish line, this time around. Riding out the front bumper, John Michael Bryant. He's about 12 car lengths behind the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr., but this should generate the momentum in the run that John Michael Bryant needs here. He'll have some drafting partner help behind him in the number 25. John Michael Bryant, your mom's favorite driver, celebrating his 30th birthday here. 5 laps to go on the Video Scoot Racing channel. John Michael Bryant gets big loose, tagged by Trevor Wall. He'll go around. Caution flag flies here. Travel Wall as well. Blake Hochschild involved. Caution flag flies here with 5 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And we will throw up the instant replay and back that ass up here with the number 23 Gorilla Mind Machine of John Michael Bryant. The announcer Jinx will get John Michael Bryant here. We were just talking about him and Travo Wall making their way to the front here. Soaring on the outside here with some momentum. John Michael Bryant with the number 25 of Sean Williams right behind him as they preload the banking through turns 3 and 4. And it looks like the ass just steps out on the boogeyman, and Travo Wall has nowhere to go. He'll collect the number 23 machine, and John Michael Bryant nowhere to go for Blake Hochschild. He'll run right into the back of the number 23 Gorilla Mind Machine. We'll back that ass up here. And this is not the birthday present the boogeyman needed here. Tore up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will ride out the front nose of John Michael Bryant. See if we can't go on board with the boogeyman and battle his hands here on the left side here as he preloads the banking through turns 3 and 4 here. The ass end just steps out of him, had to feather the gas there to try to keep it underneath him here, and contact was just made there with him and Travo Wall. Big shot there for the number 2 here, and the caution flag will fly on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard's the race leader, and we are headed to overtime here in playoff race number 1. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
Out of the twilight, I feel I'm rising. Though up below me, can see you crying. And there's a whisper, they look like angels, but I won't follow.
Bang, bang. Welcome back here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And as every race so far this year up to this point, the Saturday Night Xfinity Series presented to you by the Home Run Cafe, located at 810 North Main Street in Greer, South Carolina. Head on down there today. Tell them the Madness Racing League sent you. Back down here on the main broadcast, and ladies and gentlemen, we are working the caution flag for the 5th time here tonight. John Michael Bryant has the back half of his Toyota Supra snap loose on him there. Hard into the outside wall. Nowhere to go for Travo Wall. He gets collected as well as Blake Hochschild. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you came for. We are headed to overtime here at the Echo Park Speedway for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here, this is how it works. 2 attempts at the green-white checkered. If these drivers get back to the start-finish line and take the white flag before a wreck happens, and the yellow flag will stay in Freddie the Flagman's pocket, and we will race back to the checkered flag, the first person across the stripe will win it. However, if these drivers were to pile it up before the completion of the first lap, the caution flag will fly, and we will re-rack them one more time. Looking to crown ourselves a winner here tonight to kick off the playoffs for the Madness Racing League Series Season 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard has led a race-high 43 laps up to this point. He needs 2 more to lock himself into the championship race for the Madness Racing League. He'll have a chance here in overtime. Jerry Powers has been on the back half of a second place finish multiple times here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. A chance to go to the championship race right here at the Echo Park Speedway. James Fountain has a chance to find his way at Homestead in the championship race right here. Corey Tesner as well. How aggressive will he get it He's already put the bumper to 2 tonight. He is not afraid to let it get done here. He'll line up behind the kid. Everett Larson here will round out the bottom side here. He's also a playoff driver looking to make himself eligible for the championship here with a win at the Echo Park Speedway. Peter the pace car will hang the left on the pit road. Nicholas Maynard will be the race leader here through the Geico restart zone. And we will be green here in overtime from the Echo Park Speedway. Ripping through the gears here in overtime. The Maynard kid on the bottom. Tesner right behind him, followed by Jerry Powers on the top side. James Fountain on the top side as well. They'll lose all the drafting help they'll have down the back straightaway. Corey Tesner will make the move quick and early. 2 laps to go down the back straightaway. Climbing the making through turns 3 and 4. Maynard on the bottom side. Everett Larson right behind him. Corey Tesner rips the top side. Jerry Powers falls right behind him. Door to door. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com. Jerry Powers looking to go 3 wide on Corey Tesner. Climbing the making through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. Sailing over turns 1 and 2. Everett Larson trying to make a move to the back bumper of the kid. Side by side down the back straightaway for the final time here tonight in Atlanta. Nicholas Maynard will have it up here. Sailing up the racetrack goes Corey Tesner. Nicholas Maynard all by himself here through turns 3 and 4. They'll pile up. Big caution flag. Nicholas Maynard will come across the line and he'll win the playoff race here tonight at the Echo Park Speedway as they pile across the start-finish line. Everett Larson tore up here. Christopher Grant tore up as well. Jerry Powers. All kinds of tore up here before getting across the line. But ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard, driver of the number 02, Team Penske, Rock and Roll Racing, Maynard Motors, back in victory lane. He'll win his way to the championship race live here at the Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia. What a finish here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain to get the 2nd place spot. Trevor Wall around out the top 6 spot. Everett Larson will get the 3rd place spot. Corey Tesner off the racetrack. Juan Cobbs Jr. will get the 5th place spot, But Nicholas Maynard will be the guy bringing it home here tonight. He'll race for a championship here in the coming weeks on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard does the celebratory lap here across the front stretch in front of the fans and in front of his friends and family here at the Echo Park Speedway. Reminder to you that the auto services of McLB Auto Services presented to you tonight for the Saturday Night Xfinity Series post-race show in Victory Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the remaining schedule for the Xfinity Series. We are heading to Richmond for the 2nd playoff race here in the coming weeks. But here comes the kid of Nicholas Maynard across the front stretch here to burn it down for you folks on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard wins it here tonight for playoff race number 1. He'll be racing for a championship. Smoke show here from the kid of Nicholas Maynard. His first win, I'm hearing from the admin, in 4 months here. A well-deserved one here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll head to commercial break real quick. See if we can't get a word from the race winner of Nicholas Maynard. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Video Scooter Racing channel. We have just completed playoff race number 1 here for the Madness Racing League Series, Xfinity Series Season 2 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here's the remaining schedule. We'll head on over to Richmond 2 weeks from now for some short track racing, and then we'll head on over to the Auto Club, and then we will cut it down to our final 4 drivers who will be racing for a championship for 120 laps around the Homestead Miami Speedway. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the guys we know will be racing there will be the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. He just picked up the victory here at the Echo Park Speedway. We have a pit reporter down there. We'll see what he had to say. Go ahead.
It's down here in the victory lane at the Echo Park Speedway for the Madness Racing League's playoff race. The number 02 of Nicholas Maynard has just picked up the win. Nick kind of walked us through your night here. It's been a while since you're back in victory lane, but you find yourself here tonight in Atlanta, and you're headed to the championship race. Yeah, let's fucking go, baby. Hell yeah. Finally, 02 car back where it belongs. I can't thank everybody enough. Roger Penske, everybody at Team Penske for letting me drive the 02 Ford Mustang. It was one hell of a race there. Great races from everybody else in the field. I think chaos happened. I never checked my mirror for the last 30 laps there. Thought he had to take it from us going there to the overtime, but some great pushes from Everett and that number 01 and Jerry Powers all day. And had some fun out there tonight. Glad to be back in victory lane. That's the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. We'll scoot down here to the number 24 car of James Fountain. James really bright out there on the racetrack tonight with that purple Looney Tunes scheme. You bring home the runner-up spot there. A little contact made at the end, and the Cecil separates where you kind of walked us through your night.
Yeah, it was a good night overall. I'm sorry to Everett there. Ran out of town the next day a couple times. I'm glad he was able to get a P3. Really glad Nick got a win out here. It's good to see him win. Love every time he wins. And want to thank Chase Johnson for the paint scheme. He didn't really get to run a bunch tonight, but want to thank everybody else for coming out. I want to thank the host for putting this on, and we'll see everybody in a couple weeks.
That's the number 24 of James Fountain. He'll sit pretty well in the playoff standings. We'll scoot down here to Everett Larson, driving the number 01 Stacking Pennies podcast Ford Mustang. Everett, kind of walk us through your night here tonight. You jumped out there to the lead early off tonight. You were throwing block after block. Really worked out for you. Kind of walk us through your night here.
Yeah, I got put to the rear after qualifying because I had no clue about the red line thing, and then I got any well. But other than that, I had a pretty good night, and I just kind of started going up through the pack with James. Within like the first 5 laps, we were already in like 5th, and it was really good. And then we were just battling the whole time. I finally got to get the super speedway racing experience up in first, and I was throwing some pretty, I'd say like not out of like the pocket blocks, but like aggressive ones. But other than that, it was a really good day. I want to thank Corla Joy, Food City, Quality Heat and Air, King Sport Fitness, and my parents, and just everyone for supporting me throughout this whole thing. We had good racing. Congratulations to James, Nick, and just everyone who dressed it clean.
That's the young gun, Everett Larson, finishing in the podium spot here tonight. That'll do it down here for the driver's interviews. Back up to the booth.
Back up here to the booth, ladies and gentlemen. We have just wrapped up the first playoff race for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Ladies and gentlemen, it was one hell of a show here. We'll pull up the qualifying results for tonight's event here that saw Jerry Powers lead them to the pole here tonight, driving the number 99. And you see the rest of the field and how they shaped out behind him. A couple guys tailing in the field for the qualifying session, like James Fountain and Everett Larson, for cutting the dog leg for their qualifying lap. We'll switch over here to the race results, ladies and gentlemen. Nicholas Maynard, the kid from Wilford, South Carolina, has just locked himself into the championship race at Homestead for the Madness Racing League playoffs. He'll have to figure out who he'll race here in a couple weeks. James Fountain will get the second place spot, driving the number 24 Camaro here tonight. Everett Larson, kind of aggressive there, a blue oval will round out 2 of the top 3 spots here tonight. He'll get the 3rd place spot. Corey Riptide Tesner will get the 4th place spot here tonight in his number 8 machine. Juan Cobbs Jr., driving his RT Racing number 22, will get a top 5 here tonight. Travo Wall, the number 7 Rock and Roll Racing, rocked and rolled his way to a top 6 spot here tonight. Great points day for the number 7. Christopher Grant made his debut here tonight. He'll bring home a top 10 with a 7th place spot, driving the Liquid Death number 21. John Michael Bryant, your mom's favorite driver, will sell out of that hat and shirt t-shirt combo on that trailer. He'll get the 8th place spot here tonight. Blake Hochschild driving the number 2 gets the 9th place spot here tonight, followed by Sean Williams' top 10 spot. Jerry Power starts on the pole. Disaster there at the end, coming towards the checkered flag. Fine 10 rounding out the 11th place spot. Terry Hughes Jr. didn't even get an opportunity to show the speed in that Oreos number 81 machine. He was bad fast with damage. Could only imagine what he would have done. 12th place for Terry. Chris Knighty driving the NVIDIA Triple Deuce machine from B-Town, Indiana, will shake out the 13th place spot here tonight. Jonathan Smith will get the 14th place spot, followed by Cousin Big Country, number 59 of Kyle Fountain. Tony Cook will get the 16th place spot, and the 17th place spot will go to Showtime Chase Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it here at the Echo Park Speedway for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series playoff race number 1. 2 more playoff races remain, and we'll cut it down to our final 4. One guy has locked their way into the championship already, and that is the kid of Nicholas Maynard, who will join him here in the next coming weeks. We'll see you 2 weeks from now at the Richmond Raceway. Remember, folks, Wednesday night, the Madness Racing League's Next Gen Cup Series live right here on the TikTok platform from the Nashville Super Speedway. Underneath the lights, it should be one hell of a race. We'll see you then.